midweek press conference with head coach Frank Klopas and midfielder Chris Mueller. As a reminder to everyone, if you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand and we will unmute you. We'll go first to Joe Schatz of On Tap Sports.
Joe.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, I saw a lot of hands up. How come you always get called first, man?
I gave Jess a 5 before this.
That's what I thought. You're always first, always first. Okay.
It's all I got in life.
Well, it's a good start, my friend. We haven't changed anything. Maybe we should. Maybe our luck will change a little bit too. No?
Can't argue with that logic. Looking ahead to DC United this weekend, of course, they've got Christian Benteke in their attack that's been very prolific so far this year. What do you think they present that's going to be tough for you guys to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a big key to everything they do. Very direct team, a lot of crosses in the box, and obviously he's the target player. I think it's on a team that looks to progress a lot through possession, especially from the back. I think the two players that play a key part into that in their back five, they get forward. It's Herrera on the right side and Pedro Santos, if he plays on the left side, they help. But once they're pretty direct, and then I think a lot has to do with them if they can win second balls. And Herrera does a really good job getting forward and creating overloads on the right side, comes inside, gets a lot of crosses, and obviously Benteke is the big target for them. So, I think it's still a team that, I think they press at certain moments, good in transition because their front three with Stroud, Del Pietro, Benteke. They don't recover as much defensively, and once they win the ball, there's always that thread where, their ability to find Benteke and link up play with those guys. It's another area that of concern for us in transition moments.
Understood. Thanks, Frank.
Next, we'll go to Alex Calabrese, Men in Red Media 97.
Hey, Coach, how are you today?
Good, Alex. You?
I am good. My question's about the European Championships because the Swiss national team camp is scheduled to start on Monday. Do you know what the availability of Xherdan Shaqiri is going to be going forward the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think I'm going to speak with our sporting director right after this call, and I will get update. They've sent requested for him to report. I just have to make sure I'm clear on the date. I don't know if it's after this game. Probably Monday or a week later, but I'll get an update after this call. I can get you more, I think, through Elizabeth tomorrow, maybe, or later.
Sounds good. And then also just looking forward a little bit, I know he was benched in the last game. Can you imagine a scenario in which after the European Championships, he is no longer a Fire player?
Well, I mean, his contract is up, so I think with every player, and then the club has to make certain decisions moving forward. So, yeah, I think everything is up in the air. And I think the last game, Alex, I don't want to use the term benched because I think we played 3 games in a week, and I would say more rotation because it happened with some other players too. But, yeah, I think with every player, I think going back to the first one, going into the last year of their contract, I think the summer window is the one that's I think really more and bigger opportunities. But I think as a team, it has to make sense also for the team. But I'm sure that's in his mind and the other players that their contracts are up this year because the summer window is the one that I think there's more flexibility and where teams look to make a lot of moves.
Awesome. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Jim Alexander from Real Talker.
Coach, how are you?
You good, Jim? You? All good?
I'm doing okay. I started a new job and I'm over my head with it. So,
Oh, it's okay, man. It's going to get better.
There you go. I think you can relate.
It always gets better. Yeah. But this is different. This is what I love and this or that. It's not fatal. I think we're all like you do. I put everything I have into this, but there's some things that I can't control, but the process and what we do and the energy and the organization, me, myself, and the staff. And for me, I have, there's never a doubt in my mind that we're doing everything possible. So for that, I feel good, and it's always a bad feeling. Obviously, when we don't get the results, but that, for me, the process and how we prepared and the work that we've done, I feel very good about that.
How has practice been this week? Are you trying any new things maybe, or specific focus on certain areas you feel like maybe, over the
Yeah.
last few games you haven't been? Are you changing things up in practice, basically, what I'm kind of asking?
Yeah, the thing is trying to simplify things in practice, and I think that's the most important thing when teams is going through a difficult moment from the mental state of the team is obviously down. It's I think that's expected when you don't get results. Performances are not going your way. For me, like I said, I felt that the attitude of the players and what they put in the last game was very good, and we created chances again. But when I've looked at this week, and I think going forward, what I've told the players is, and we try to simplify things and be very clear with 1 or 2, 3 points, things to focus on going into the next game, both with the ball and without the ball. And I think our mentality at that point, every game, we have to try something different. We've tried some different ways of playing 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 3-4-3, but we have to at this point. And our mindset, even though there's no relegation battle in this league, we have to approach right now every game like it's a relegation fight until we can get out of this situation that we're in, and have the mentality that we're going to go in and leave everything on the field, and may have that kind of commitment by everyone. But that's our approach and our mentality into this game and the next game going forward. That's our mindset. We have to go in and understand that, that every game is we're playing like it's a relegation battle.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Europa League final today. Who do you got, Leverkusen or Atalanta?
I gotta go Leverkusen, man. They're just been incredible the whole year. That's you can't. It's hard not to take them, because of just the year that they've had, and they just always find a way. They're just a really exciting team to watch. That's my pick today.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Keep your head up.
Always, Jim.
Next, we'll go to Hernan Espinoza from La Fiera Deportiva.
Hey, Coach. Good afternoon. How are you today?
Hey, Hernan. ¿Cómo está?
Bien, bien. Talking about the participation of Terán and the minutes that you have given to Navarro, I want to see your impressions about those two players on the field, and how you feel Terán holding that middle spot right in the defense. Thank you.
Yeah, Hernan, I think first I'll go with Navarro. With Fede, he had some injuries, I think, early on into the season, and it was difficult then for him, to regain his form in training and get him rhythm in the games. He's an important player of the team. I think for Fede, for me, he's the player that you always know what you're going to get on the field from him. For me, I put my hand, I count. He's one of those guys that you know what you're going to get from him. He brings a lot of energy, commitment to the team, enthusiasm, and passion with everything he does. In every play, in every tackle, he leaves everything on the field. So it's good to have him, because he just does so many little things for the team that sometimes get unnoticed. But for me and the staff, they don't, and it's great to have him back. Carlos, he says, when you look at him, is so much upside and potential and ability, and with him, it's just controlling his emotions better. I think that's a big part with Carlos, because in any play, you can see everything, happy, sad, upset, angry. And in one moment, you can see all that frustration, and he needs to control that and stay focused. We've been working on him. He's got a lot of potential. I think it's important that he stays healthy and consistently playing, because that's also going to help him improve and get in a rhythm and be better. And also his ability to, the more games he plays, his ability to read the game more and not just rely always on his physicality and athletic ability. I think that's the next step in progression for him, for me. But they both players can bring so much to the team.
Wonderful. And last question we'll throw to Tim Hotza from Men in Red 97 Media.
Hi, Frank. How are you? Thanks for taking
Good,
the time.
Tim. You?
So, with the team they've got 3 games in the next 10 days, away in DC and 3 at home. One thing the team has had going for it so far this year has been the fans have really stuck with the team. It's on track to break the all-time attendance record set last year. With the results being the way they've been, what's the message to the fans, and how important is it to get a result in DC to give the fans something with 2 home games next week?
Yeah, I think the fans play a big part. There's been big frustration. I see it. I know when I go there, I think a big part of the frustration is obviously, towards me as a coach, and that's fine. I understand that. Uh, it's important in difficult moments for everyone to stick together and support the players on the field. And that's the thing. I mean, if you really look at the game, I think that the players are trying. I think we're creating opportunities. They're not going our way. It's not because of lack of attitude and effort or commitment from the team. So I understand the frustrations. But the only thing I can say is that myself, the staff, and everyone is we're given everything that we have to trying to, find the answers and turn this thing around. And it could start from this week in DC, but it's important that in those home matches that for me, I always want they play a big role. I think, and it's important when our players come out that they see them there, that they have their support, and in the difficult moments, that's the key. And I've always said it that I've been in this club for a very long time, not always as a coach. I've done different things, but every time I've traveled, there hasn't been a place where I haven't seen Fire fans there, and that's great. Um, and I can't say more than that. It's just to say that we need them. I think they're important. And I think in difficult moments, I think this is where we have to stick together and provide that support for the players. It'd be a different story for me if I could, if I'm telling you that the effort or the attitude or mentality wasn't there from the players.
All right. Thanks, and have a safe trip to DC.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach. We'll be back shortly with midfielder Chris Mueller.
Great. Thanks, guys.
We will go first to Joe Schatz from On Tap Sports.
Thanks, Jess. Hey, Chris, how are you today?
What's up, Joe?
Oh, the usual. Curious, I know last time we talked about the need to be confident in the team, or the team needing to be confident in feeding, your central attackers, and the, goals haven't been there yet. What do you think this team needs to do at this point to find the back of the net?
I think it's just about, I think there's a few things, but the one that sticks out to me most is getting the ball up high to guys in dangerous areas where they can actually do things and create more frequently throughout games. I don't think we're getting into good enough spots enough. I think we're getting there here time and time again, and I just think that a little bit more repetitions down there for the guys in the attack would definitely be beneficial. We need to play attacking football and keep the ball in their half, play that high press and win balls back in order to do that. So there's like a ton of things, like I said, that can be rattled off in my opinion, but it's difficult when you're relying on one or two chances a game in order to win you games. And sometimes you do have to do that. I'm not naive to that fact at all either, that sometimes, maybe a game is 1-0 or you put both chances away that you get and you win 2-1, but also at the same time, I think it's unrealistic to expect to score both chances out of, 2 out of 2 chances in a game. I think that getting the ball in the dangerous attacking spots more frequently is definitely going to be something that would help us, no doubt.
Understood. Thank you, Chris. Safe travels this weekend.
Thanks.
Next, we'll go to Alex Calabrese from Men in Red 97 Media.
Hey, Chris, how are you today?
Hey, Alex, how's it going?
Good. My question is, it's obviously been a difficult 2-month run now for the team. What kind of response have you seen from the group as they try to come back and finally get a win on the board? And also, how can you keep the confidence high and get that back when it's been difficult at times?
I think you need to get a win. 3 points would be the one thing that I say is how you get that confidence back, so to say. But for us, for now, it's just you got to keep going and keep being positive in whatever fashion that you can. It's not easy in these moments, and I don't think it weighs on anybody harder than all the guys in the locker room, because we're the ones here every day, putting our best foot forward, trying. I don't think it's a lack of effort. I don't think that looks like the problem. Just that things haven't turned for us recently, and of course, we all know that we can't control what happened in the past, and the only thing we can do is react and respond, and hopefully get a good result coming on this weekend. So that's what the group has done. We've had a good couple of days of training here, and we're just going to continue to look forward, to push forward, and keep believing in each other. That's the main thing. But it is difficult right now, like you mentioned. So we are fighting through it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Jim Alexander from Real Talker.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
As I told Frank, I'm overwhelmed with a new job, but hanging in there. So the thing about you started most of the games actually this season. And I spoke to Frank about you a couple of weeks back about sort of your performance. He's been very complimentary of what you've done for the team and how you've sort of elevated your game. How would you kind of self-assess yourself personally this season, how your play's been? And that includes on the field and maybe even off the field in locker room, maybe leadership role. How do you kind of self-assess yourself, what you've done so far this season? Because the coach seems to be on board.
Yeah, I think obviously it's hard for me to give myself credit when the team's not doing well, and myself credit in that sense as well. It's just, I obviously want to be scoring goals and providing more assists for the team to help us win games, which obviously I haven't been able to do as much yet. And I understand that there's time that in coming back from this injury, the team has been going through a tough run of form, so it's multiple things. But at the end of the day, I feel like I want to be producing more, no doubt. I know that that's in my locker. So it's something that I'm continuing to strive forward for. But I also see a lot of progress in my game as I go through, each performance, each start, as I'm getting more minutes under my legs. I do think my touches have gotten sharper. I think I'm showing bits in my quality. Maybe not all the time like I know that I can, but definitely those things are coming back. So for me, those are positive signs amidst all the negatives that have been obvious for all of us to see. But I do think that I'm moving in the right direction, and I think that in the beginning of the season, as well as I was not playing as much and tried to just continue to radiate positive energy within the team. I think even now I try and bring that good energy to the guys when it feels a little low sometimes in the locker room. As I mentioned, the results haven't gone our way, so I'm trying to just be kind of that light for some guys, because naturally I'm a positive person. I'm optimistic and I always look forward. I don't like to ruminate too much and think about the past or the things that I can't control. So I've just tried to be that leader in some sense of just trying to keep motivating the guys, to keep telling them that all we can do is push forward and look ahead and try and turn things around in one game, in one moment, because that's all it takes in this league. It takes one moment of good fortune, of good luck, and you turn the table for yourself, and right there you get that confidence that's so important, that can help you catapult to the next level. So that's been my essential role, I feel like, in the team right now, leadership wise. And then like you mentioned, for my performance, just happy with the pieces that have kind of come so far, hoping I can just contribute a little bit more on the statistical side of things here in the near future.
Sounds good. And who do you got today? Leverkusen or Atalanta?
It's hard to bet against Leverkusen because they're undefeated all season, but at the same time, I think Atalanta has looked really good throughout the tournament, especially in the semifinal against Marseille. So we'll see.
All right. Get those 3 points. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Tim Hotza, Men in Red 97 Media.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for taking the time. So as you've talked about getting minutes and stuff like that, you've had minutes both kind of like on the left side, where we've seen you play mostly, as well as on the right. And I wanted you to talk about if that's a challenge for you. I mean, if you've got a clear preference. Obviously, most players tell us they'll get minutes anywhere on the pitch they can, but has that been another factor in adjusting back to the game as you've been coming back from the injury?
Yeah, obviously you get thrown in different positions, and I feel like one of the things that makes me a good player in some sense is just my versatility and being able to play multiple spots. So that's been, a good challenge for me to play wide on the right, where the system has you more wide and you're more crossing balls in and serving, than being in the middle, connecting and combining and doing other things in that nature. So it's been a good challenge for me. I like to play both positions. It just kind of changes the way that I play my game, just because of how you're tactically set up. But nonetheless, I think that they both just they're different jobs, right? So you're just asked to do different things, and I just try and do both of those to the best of my ability, no matter where that's at. That's what I always do. So it's been fun, and yeah, I'm always open to play wherever I can get space.
All right, thanks. Good luck and have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today, Chris. And thank you everyone for hopping on, and we'll look forward to talking to you after Saturday's match. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.